Well, in any case, we're gonna get right here into the game.
I cannot hear you, Moxie, unfortunately, but we're working on it.
All right.
Very wise.
Now I can. All good.
Can you hear us now? Can you hear us?
I can hear you. All good.
Perfect. Excellent. Have to turn you up on my end a little bit. But yeah, so we're looking at this. Sheev mentioned it in the in the pregame part of it. A lot of comfort heroes coming out for both of the teams. Obviously, both of them really want to be a part of this grand final. Do you think that this has given them the edge going forward? Because a lot of this is draft dependent, like you guys were saying, that 50-50.
Yeah, OG plays something similar that they played yesterday, and they are playing, as you mentioned, the comfort heroes. But the boys have been playing good Dota yesterday, very good Dota. And I'm not like looking at these two drafts. I feel what I said on the panel, because I was very smart on the panel, that top lane, the safe lane for OG, they need to be careful about it. This is the lane that I'm most forward looking to see how it's gonna go, because there's so much kill potential between Spirit Breaker and Grimstroke.
That's definitely going to be something they have to be very much in mind of. But we're already seeing a little bit of skirmishing coming out here. Some of those tips being dropped as well, as teams are getting ready to pick up those bounty runes. It looks like it's going to be pretty evenly split. Nothing too wild just yet.
Yeah, this time around, Team Tickles will not go for any of their signature things. No tri-lanes whatsoever. Just gonna keep it 2-1-2.
All right, well, we'll take a look over in this mid lane. You've got Boom on his signature, Storm Spirit BZM here over on the Queen of Pain. And I'm guessing, it's going to be a pretty quiet time just for now, letting everybody just kind of farm up. And you had mentioned earlier that you would like to see the more of the glass cannon build come out for BZM here.
Yeah, I want to see what he goes for. It's a great Orchid game that I mentioned, but there's going to be a lot of pressure from Queen of Pain. Like, Queen of Pain loves to play aggressive in pretty much any matchups. Maybe Death Prophet, maybe Lina, not so much, but anything other than that, like, she wants to put pressure. She wants to grab a kill, pressure as much as she can. Scream of Pain missed, but all right. You make a mistake early on so that it does not happen later.
I'm checking in with some of the other lanes here. We talked about this top lane, that it's fairly scary, right? Because you've got the fact that you have a Spirit Breaker who's going to be able to, be aggressive. Tofu, of course, we've seen him before playing this Grimstroke, being able to place, that Ink Swell upon Ace if he decides to charge in. How are they going to deal with this?
Misha needs to be careful about his positioning. If he gets caught outside the tower range, I think they just charge him with the Ink Swell, because there's nothing that can stop it. It's very hard to land a torrent. So very worried about Misha. He decides to go for Holy Persuasion. On level 2 for now was just keeping an extra regeneration with that Divine Favor. Let's see if he decides to take the creep, or he takes a neutral creep and tries to stack with it. Something that he did against Tundra.
Is that what you'd prefer to see him do here, just because of the fact that, he can be super vulnerable? Or is it better for him to babysit here with Yoragi?
He needs to get out and get a different creep, because both camps are blocked at the moment, so it's going to be very hard for him. Right now he is pinging it, will deblock it.
Seems like he's noticed that and he's already just removed it, so that should open things up a little bit more for him. And then we haven't really talked much about this bottom lane. It's going to be fairly quiet. I mean, we talk a lot about Amar here, the fact that he does like to play these heroes, the offlane heroes especially, more of a secondary core in terms of farm. What are we going to expect from him this time? Do you think anything a little bit different? Is he going to go a little bit more utility? Or is he just going to go full on aggression like we normally see?
They do have ways of starting a fight with, like, early on, Queen of Pain blinking in, Kunkka with his combo. So I don't think it's necessary for him to get an earlier blink dagger. Storm Spirit dropping low.
He is indeed. He's going to have to go pop that Fairy Fire. Does have the bottle on him as well, so it looks like he's going to be all right, but definitely feeling that aggression.
BZM couldn't chase. He went for 2-0-2 build, so there's no blink to close the gap and chase underneath the tower.
Do you think he would have taken that risk, though, or that he would have gotten so aggressive?
Oh, for sure. You want to dive. Maybe he needs to be a bit more careful because Spirit Breaker could show up, get a return kill. They still haven't used the charge more than one time, I believe, on the top lane.
When you talk about that dive underneath the tower, he's definitely going. So PZM will get the first blood, and they just cannot teleport fast enough here.
Yeah, Queen. One of the reasons why Queen of Pain is first phased, because she just does well no matter where you put her. Like we've seen some off lane, we've seen safe lane co-ops, but mostly on the mid lane. The hero's always gonna do well.
Already making way back over to lane, managed to grab herself up the water rune. There's still a water rune top on top of everything else as well, so she wanted to go and grab a little bit more regen. She has that option, but Boom's back in the lane. He's gonna put out his own harass. Not gonna be able to get the water rune though.
In terms of CS, Storm is doing okay. Queen of Pain with a slight advantage. She has more denies. As expected, it's just the Queen favored matchup. Storm does okay, but he might need some help.
Do you think we're going to see any sort of rotation come in here to try to punish Queen of Pain, try to give Boom a little bit of help? Or is it more important that, you know, obviously not too much that Celery can do right now? You know, perhaps seeing something come out of the off lane or the Grimstroke making his way over.
I'm looking at the Grimstroke and the Spirit Breaker to make a rotation possibly. Mostly Grimstroke. Still no points in silence, as you would expect from a level 3 Grimstroke. But one Inkswell, one extra slow, a little bit of an extra damage could make a difference. Especially since Queen of Pain has level advantage, it's gonna hit level 6 faster than the Storm.
It is a little bit of a tricky hero to try to get the jump on here in mid. And I'm a little bit surprised with how just calmly they're handling this top lane. I would have thought that this would be a little bit more of a skirmishy sort of thing coming out from Tofu and Ace, given the combination.
Celery pretty much got the perfect creep. He got the Mud Golems. And now that they've split, all right, first rotation from Queen of Pain.
Right down onto the Racho here. Sonic Wave coming in, and we'll be able to connect. So Celery is all by his lonesome. A good rotation here coming from BZM.
Queen of Pain, one of the better heroes in game to like TP rotate with, because you know you're gonna get the kill. And yeah, I believe he did get the last hit with the Sonic Wave. So rune spawning. It's gonna be top, DD.
It is indeed, and Tofu's already in position here. He was trying to make this rotation, perhaps put some pressure, and just, you know, in general, be able to go and snatch up that rune, or secure it at least. But Boom's looking to make his own rotation now. That double damage rune.
Because BZM couldn't find the rune, Taiga TP's mid, refills the bottle. They know something fishy is going on. They know that they don't have the runes, so right now just playing very passive. And also Kunkka is very hard to take down. He's level 5 underneath the tower with Helm of Iron Will, so sitting at 14 armor. I mean, with the double damage they can kill him, but it's gonna take a while.
For you.
Otherwise, it feels fairly passive aside from that one sort of rotation. Do get an X out here on the top lane. Try to punish Ace a little bit, put out some of this harass. But I think one of the things, you know, I was talking with some friends yesterday about, you know, who do we think is going to look the strongest here? So we hold that thought. Duracho again. Ball lightning, though, coming out from Boom. There's going to be the heal coming out from Celery as well, trying to keep Duracho alive. They'll turn their attention over on Taiga. They'll be able to collect a kill.
Good turnaround. They managed to keep Duracho alive. He was very close to level 6, and we'll get it. Let's see if he decides to save a point just in case they decide to make a rotation on him. But he's also tanky. Helm of Ironville, probably one of the best items right now. Gonna get nerfed for sure, providing you with 5 regen and 6 armor. You can just have a casual helm throughout the whole game, and you're gonna get the value from it.
Yeah, it feels like we've been seeing quite a bit of that throughout the DPC, just in general. Can't wait for a patch. I know you're pretty excited for one at some point, huh?
Oh yeah, I mean, there's some changes. I don't mind this patch. I think it's a great patch, one of the better ones that we had. I just think we needed to have some heroes nerfed, the one like Weaver, Queen of Pain, Io, but the Spirit Breaker rest is fine. Sonic Wave again.
Yeah, just the wrong time to be walking over there for poor little Io. So, you see him off to a great start here. 3-0 so far, farming very well. And sitting at the top of the net worth.
Oh, big stack for Boom.
Yeah, I could see that earlier. Tofu was making the stacks, trying to make sure that he had plenty of goodies to go and just flash farm here. He's gonna get himself a couple of these nice neutral items to boot.
Storm Spirit got a lot of gold from that. Now sitting at on top of the last hit chart, 70. Queen of Pain 69, nice. 14 denies as well.
Celery just gonna go top off boom. But again, one of the things that I was finding kind of interesting was asking, you know, how do we think these teams are going to perform? As we do see a bit of a smoke coming out here from the side of the Gladiators. They're on the hunt. They're up here to boom. They're gonna be able to find Yuragi. And again, he is pretty tanky. They can see some of these stacks too, but they'll follow up. They've got the both though, coming out from Yuragi. Trying to buy just a bit more time. The zip forward though, coming out from boom. The charge coming out from Ace. Do you see some teleports? But there's 4 people here in this jungle.
Oh, the toggle.
Is still alive too, somehow. Now at the last second. All right, Ace will be able to get that finishing blow.
Ace did not want to use ulti immediately. I thought Kunkka might use both on the neutral camp and try to kill it before to get extra value. Bottom lane, he still has ulti available if he feels like going for it. Pops it immediately.
Now some teleports here though. Nice batch over onto Dyrachyo. Taiga not looking too healthy though, because Ace is jumping in. There's gonna be the zip from Boom. Not gonna be able to quite grab Taiga. He's gonna follow lightning forward, be able to take out Shadow Shaman. Now Amar not in a great position here. Not sure if they quite have enough though. Ball lightning forward. Good crush. Sitting very low. It looks like he's gonna survive this, but yeah, I felt like OG in this bottom lane. They spotted this opportunity knowing that everyone was in the jungle, but they just didn't have the damage to take down Dyrachyo before those teleports came in.
Yeah, he's sitting underneath the tower, so he gets extra 2 armor from the tower. Extra regeneration kicks in on top of the Chip West, so they don't have that much burst damage. Like, even if they kill him, I think the slow would be enough to kill both of the heroes, but Dyrachyo, in that case, did not want to lose the ulti. And another great rotation from Boom. Also a bit of unfortunate, didn't have any bottle charges left to give a little bit of extra mana regeneration to Spirit Breaker so that he would get the charge on Slardar. And on the top lane, BZM, once again, using a Sonic Wave, getting these early pickoffs.
What you sound like.
Yeah, BZM definitely on top of his game here in terms of knowing exactly when to make these rotations and when people are vulnerable. But a zip in over onto the mid lane, over onto Taiga. Follow up with the Torrent, boat getting thrown out as well. They're gonna try to turn this back around. Taiga sitting so low back here, being able to control Boom. They'll already lose 8.
We should just
so
get level
gets the hand of God heal off the Liz Celery. They still have not. All right, there it is. They finally take down Taiga, but they're gonna end up losing Boom. So 3 over here in this mid lane.
Oh, what a great timing. Chen managed to get level 6 because they got a kill. Skills Hand of God uses it immediately. And if we check the items on Shadow Shaman, like, he has Infused Raindrop and the Fluffy Hat. This is the item that he started with. That extra 125 HP, keeping him alive in those fights. On top of the boat, like, he becomes much more tanky. And they thought he was dead.
God, look at the ping coming out here from Boom. He's like, guys, this guy's sitting so low, and I'm just getting handled right now. That hand of God coming in clutch.
Yeah,
sure.
coming in handy.
Bottom lane, a little bit of harass being placed out over onto Ace. It feels strange because I feel like these lanes were set up to be so incredibly aggressive, right? Because you've got a Shadow Shaman, you've got a Slardar in one lane, then you've got the Spirit Breaker, and you've got, you know, the Grimstroke. But the early game was pretty quiet, fairly passive. It wasn't really until the mid laners made those rotations that we started to see a lot of bloodshed.
And now they got the items that they wanted. Like, I felt like Gaming Gladiators, they needed to make much more happen in the laning stage. Now this Kunkka Armlet, Boots of Travel, I've seen this Boots of Travel second item on Kunkka. I think it's really good because you can always be, whenever you feel like either just going back to base with the X mark the spot, always full HP, full mana, or participate in the fights, because you want Kunkka to participate in earlier fights. We've seen in the previous one what Ghost Ship can do. Spirit Breaker. Q Null Talismans. This seems all big zip from Storm.
Yeah, they're going in over on Misha. They know where Chen lives. They know what he wants to be doing, and they know that they can get themselves a kill. And look at these stacks over here. This is a great time for Boom. He's got Celery nearby to top him off if necessary. Thrachio gonna be able to take advantage of this with the Skelly boys, and bottom lane, they do get the combination off over onto Taiga. So they'll go and use a reload in, they'll find Amar, didn't quite manage to get the jump, but there's the follow-up, went for that Orchid like we talked about, double silence, throwing out a boat, trying to do everything he can, but it's gonna be a triple kill for Boom.
Like, Boom has been on point with his rotations, and also Io, Celery, he's been playing with Boom, giving him mana with that Soul Ring, and they are also controlling the runes, so that's very important. Now with that Orchid pickup, they can go for more aggressive pickups. Like, Chen doesn't have anything to defend himself with. Same goes for Shaman. Bit of silence on that neutral creep. Screw that neutral creep in particular.
I feel like they've got to do something about the Ratio here, just taking up residency in their jungle.
Dyrachyo has been, you know, farming. All right.
Uh-oh, Ace.
Holding that thought.
Nah, they'll back
They
off.
don't want to go. If he gets the bulldoze off, it's very hard for Shadow Shaman to lock him down, and also his abilities are not maxed out yet. Big Zip.
Yeah, top lane, we talked about this. She's pretty squishy when she's got an Orchid. Nothing really else for defensive items, so Boom gonna punish that severely with a little help from some friends, and they'll jump down to this bottom lane. They did go and drop the Serpent Wards, but not gonna be able to do too much. We'll get a decent amount of damage on the tower, though.
Yeah, Queen of Pain is going for Kaya Sanj build. I think in this situation, maybe it's better to go for Sanj as a first item. It slows you down in terms of farming, but a bit of a status resistance and the extra HP could potentially keep you alive. Maybe if he had it instead of Kaya, could make a difference. It's easy to say now, you know, like, it's very easy to be smart when we see the full map.
Stupendous.
Still a fairly tight game here at 15 minutes in. Less than 1k net worth advantage going on. It just feels like a lot of plays trying to make space around the map, but unless you're BZM, you're really not finding, you know, as much as you'd like here. Whereas it feels like Gladiators have a little bit better of a handle.
They want Amar to pick up his Blink Dagger, then they have another hero that can play with the Queen of Pain. Zip again.
Jump in over onto BZM. They'll get the Soulbind off and the double silence. Nice shackle over here on the side from Taiga, but the rest of the team not quite in position to zip into the backlines. They want to get rid of BZM. They'll be able to find it. Taiga's next on their list. They do not want to get locked down here at all. He'll be next to full to Boom. And now Amar, he is left all alone with all of these heroes. He's just obliterated.
Such a great charge from Ace. Like, I believe it connected on 3 or 4 heroes, got in the middle of a fight. They have 3 great Inkswell targets, whether it's a Spirit Breaker, Storm Spirit, or Wraith King. And Wraith King decided to go for a Blink Dagger, which I really like in this situation, because he can follow up. And we're gonna see Ace charging in through a lot of the heroes. Double silence on top of that from the Grimstroke. He had Inkswell on top of him as well. And look at that. Stunning 1, 2, 3 heroes.
Beautifully executed team fight during all of that. Now they've got themselves an Aegis for Boom. So Gladiators have to be feeling very, very good right now.
Oh yeah, now you have basically 7 versus 5 because Wraith King did not die, and he also has that level 2 ulti, so it's gonna be very hard for OG to take these fights. They show up, Wraith King jumping in.
Yeah, they found themselves Amar. They've got the Blink Dagger online for Dyrachyo. Ace looking to maybe engage on this. They're just gonna kind of take it slow here because they know that Boom is nearby. Both will connect over onto 2. Taiga has his hands over here, and they're gonna just zip right underneath the tower. Boom doesn't care. No problem. They'll reload out, go to another lane, or return rather. Just go right back on farming.
Ace with the Shadow Blade pickup and Inkswell on top of him. He's so speedy. Like, they have the best heroes, I would say, in the game to gank with. Look at this. On top of the Queen of Pain.
And the follow-up, like we said, with the Inkswell. Lots of damage. No BZM, though. Hand of God coming into hand. No, they'll still be able to take down the Queen of Pain. Boom dragging back over here onto Amar. Kiting very nicely. Not gonna be able to find the finishing blow. Dyrachyo, though. Okay, they go and they drop the Serpent Wards. Not a lot of mana left over here. Dyrachyo just gonna be able to blink away, and just like that, that Serpent Ward's down.
Oh, BZM, he's stood there for too long. He could have blinked out, or I guess he was trying to find an angle to use the Sonic Wave on multiple heroes. Like, as we can see, he is tanky, but this Orchid on Storm Spirit is really gonna ruin him. Hand of God gonna come in. He's thinking about it. Yeah, he got clipped by Stroke of Fate as well.
It looked so good for a second that, you know, you've got that nice 3-man torrent, you know,
Yeah,
maybe you've done enough, maybe you've just bought enough time, but...
We slowed it down, so it looked like he used Scream of Pain before Sonic Wave to push them away, which could have been maybe a difference to keep him alive.
Feels like they have been after this bottom tower for ages, Lacoste. In fact, the fort comes out, look at Boom. He doesn't want to give this up. They're in position on the side of OG. The rest
Yeah, I
of the
had
team,
to check that Celery is not playing Treant Protector, considering how long they're keeping this tier 1 tower alive.
All right, this time they're prepared for Ace, though. This time they have the vision, but there's BKB coming out from Yagi. Ace, no, Celery's gonna be able to step in, but Boom now is just left alone. That Aegis will go down. They'll end up taking out Taiga. Gonna back off now, and it feels like Boom, he wants to go back in. He sees a Mar. This is Storm right there from Ace jumping forward. They want to just punish the Slarter. He's not able to do much of anything as they'll turn back around, find the Chen. Down goes Misha. They still have not taken this bottom tower. In fact, Gladiators are gonna claim a tower of their own.
OG very aggressive. Maybe they thought, you know, Raid King does not have ulti, so we'll take the fight if we can burst him, but it's very hard considering the amount of heal that Io provides. They have like also save potentially from the Grimstroke. They go on him, they group around, relocate again.
Reload, they just never stop, and they're always hunting BZM, and this time again, they will be able to collect a kill.
Oh man, BZM, they completely shut him down. Like this, Kaya Sanj provides him with the status resistance, a bit more tankiness on top of her level 10 talent. Another zip, they're all over the place.
Yeah, they have all this aggression. They know that they can move around the map. And, you know, it's too bad because BZM was looking so very good early on, but it feels like just the way that Gladiators have started to move around the map together.
Yeah, now that I'm
shut him down.
Thinking about the itemization on Queen of Pain, you're playing into Spirit Breaker, you're playing into Storm, who you know it's gonna rush Orchid. I think getting Yules as a first item, maybe like Sanj into Yules, also I wouldn't mind seeing that, because you can like dispel the silence on yourself, you can stop Spirit Breaker from charging, and you also dispel Bulldoze, which is very problematic because they can't lock him down.
Looks like OG is gonna go for a smoke play, try to get themselves out of their base, maybe take over their jungle again. So they have been forced out of quite of their own area, but counter smoke coming out here from Guardians. Or Gladiators, rather. So they're looking as they'll find a Mar. Not necessarily the target they want, but blink forward here from Dota2. Immediate hex coming out from Taiga. Is silenced up. He's just gonna get chopped into two, and the other support on the side of OG will fall.
Boom. Not going greedy at all, silences one, pulls the second target, understands the rest of the team is going to clean up, and now this should be a free tower. Raid King with the Deso getting closer to level 18. It's gonna be very, very hard for OG to play this game. 10k gold lead, like, I feel like they missed the momentum with those couple of deaths. They still have heroes that scale well into the late game, it's just the map is gonna continue to get smaller. The first Roshan already died, and if you get second Aegis on Storm Spirit as well, like Roche may respawn in 2.5 minutes, it's gonna be, again, 7 versus 5.
So what do you think they needed to do differently on the side here of OG? Like you mentioned, you know, they lost a little bit of momentum. Like what are the moves? Because
like they got picked off so many times. Their lineup is really good when they group up together with Kunkka's boat, Slardar early on, Shaman sieging the tower. There's still tier 1 tower 22 minutes in, standing on the bottom.
There's a lot of tier 1 towers still standing in multiple
Yeah, they have
ways.
all of them.
Yikes. That's definitely not the way that they want this to go. You know, Shiver was saying that it was looking like it was shaping up to be a very strong kind of a push draft and early aggression. That's something that OG does very, very well, but if they start to slide behind like this, it is very difficult to bounce back, especially when you have, again, I talked about this earlier too, the comfort heroes, right? You've got Boom on that Storm Spirit, very comfortable. Tofu loving that, you know, the Grimstroke, and they're just making all the right moves. But we'll see Ace just gonna stroll by casually, finds himself a Misha, immediately goes and look at Amar. He's like, nope, nope, I don't know where they are. I don't want to be here. So they'll jump in and they want to be a part of the action here. So it's gonna be Boom who finishes them off.
Someone has to pay with his life. Showing too many heroes. Ace had a pretty good game. Like, Ace has been, I think, throughout this whole regional finals, like, very silent, but he gets the job done.
That's important. Definitely seen him in multiple roles over the years, but this seems to be a very good fit for
Yeah,
him
I think this is the best he's been playing in his professional career.
That's high praise coming
It
from you.
really is. I'm just being realistic, you know.
All right. Well, definitely feels like OG not having any breathing room at this point. They've got so much vision thrown up over here from the side of the Gladiators. And it's very difficult for them to move around. BZM, the only one really who's able to kind of get out there. In fact, look at this. They've stepped out of their base and they immediately just get jumped upon because they have the vision. So Taiga and Misha just disappearing before our eyes. And oh, they found a Mar. They'll be able to land the crush, but they'll chase after him. They've got the Ace and they'll be able to just go forward, get a couple more hits. This time it'll be Ace who slays Amar.
And this is going to be
and
another
they'll
one.
go right. Oh my goodness, Yarki's in his own base.
They call it. They
call
type it GG and they get out. Can't blame them considering like how this game developed. They had a bit of a momentum. I think they got out of the laning stage with 3, maybe even 4